the intensity and the aggressiveness from the riders are like 100 times different than in EMX. Like, I think they would absolutely kill you for them to win. You know, it's like that. And for me, would also be like that because, as I mentioned before, winning is my thing. Hello, my name is Janis Reisulis and I am 17 years old and I race motocross professionally and I race for Yamaha VHR VRT. Yeah, for the moment leading, quite a solid gap as well, but you know, the championship's never over, also with I think 4 rounds to go, but yeah, I feel pretty comfortable. I started mainly because of my bigger brother. He is a little bit more than 2 years older than me. He started riding because his dad just one day asked him if he wants to try to ride a little bit or something like that, and yeah, he did. And yeah, the first trainings was, of course, I think for everyone would be like a really nice experience, you know, something different in life. Because yeah, I would say this sport is like very different from the other sports, like for example, football or basketball. Me, I just followed him. In the first trainings was like more because my father wanted me to ride, but after some more time, some more trainings, some more hours on the bike, I started to feel like yeah, I like this and I want to continue. And yeah, then the first races came, was starting to do better and better, and going to bigger races like Latvian Championship and now European Championship, and this is where I am right now. Yeah, for me, like, Great Britain is one of my favorite tracks on the calendar, so yeah, I was expecting myself to do a lot better than I did. But I think the main problem in that round was maybe a little bit too much pressure on myself because the championship is slowly coming to an end. Yeah, I just wasn't myself. Yeah, it already had happened like quite similar like 2 years ago when I was racing 125. I was also leading the championship. So for me, maybe in the next years could work a little bit on that, and I think yeah, that would be really great. The biggest motivation is like how far I have came and how much like the sponsors and other people have put in work just for me, so I could ride like a good bike and have all the stuff a rider needs to race. So yeah, also it's really important to have discipline in this sport, because without that it's almost impossible to be at the top, because it's not only racing bikes, it's also training physically, you know, running, cycling, and doing some exercise and much more, also healthy eating and stuff like that. So you really have to be mental for this sport. Like before the race, yeah, and the day of racing, I start by, of course, eating breakfast, because without eating and without energy, you can't really ride a bike. So yeah, and then I go to the track, and the first thing I tell myself that I can't look at my phone between the races, because it takes a lot of focus, and it's better if I don't pay attention to the phone. And then yeah, it's quite similar like I do in training, of course with a little bit pressure attached before the races, you know, all the time the heart is beating a little bit faster, and Yeah, all I basically do is just warm up, think how I'm going to ride, not try to put a lot of pressure on myself. Just enjoy the day, enjoy the motos, and if I do a good result, then yeah, everyone's happy. But if I do a bad result, then I try to look at my mistakes and improve for the next race. So it's a little bit like that, not really special something. Now while I'm racing just in Europe, I have also some like quite a lot of time at home, which is really good because I can rest more and you know, ride all the Latvian tracks I'm used to riding. And yeah, of course, it's not all the time in Latvia. It's also coming to the team and racing in different countries. So for me, trainings when I go to Latvia is like 2 or 3 times a week, and of course in the other days I do some cardios. But when I come to France, it's a little bit different because I need to travel more from track to track, and you know, it's not sleeping in my home bed, let's say. And yeah, it's a little bit more tiring than staying at home. So yeah, it's like that. Of course, start still matters because if you start at the front, you can just ride your own race. And for me, when I start at the front, it feels so good. Just pull away from everyone because I would say my strong thing is to push for the first laps. But yeah, if the track is like it was, for example, last weekend in Great Britain, where it was not so easy to pass, and got bad starts in both of the motos, was not the best feeling, you know, seeing a rider in front of you that you know is slower than you, and that you can usually pass him in like 1 or 2 corners, and you struggle with him for 3 laps, and it comes a little bit like frustrating, yeah. And yeah, it's a little bit like that. In this part, it is really important to take the start in front. I would say it's really nice to have a teammate in the trainings you can look up to, you know, see where he does better and improve on yourself. But in the race, when you put your helmet on, it's a lot different. It's not like, yeah, as I mentioned in football, where you like have to be friendly. Maybe I am more friendly to my teammate than the other guys racing, but I usually take every rider on the track the same. I don't know if it's possible to explain the feeling. It was of course something different. I was also a little bit sick coming into the weekend, but I still told myself in the head that I have to do this. Finally, because 2 and 3 years ago I didn't make it. I made it on the podium, but I didn't win. And I really wanted to hear the Latvian national anthem on the podium and see a lot of smiles on the crowd. And yeah, it was just unbelievable, leading both motos, also winning both motos. You know, it's not like in other countries, you win a moto, you do an interview, go on the podium, go back to your truck and go home. This time was a lot of noise, a lot of fans coming to you, and yeah, I just felt really special, you know. 5 years ago, I never would have thought that something like this could have happened to me. So I'm really grateful that they make a round in Latvia, which is also a really nice track there. So yeah, I enjoyed that weekend a lot and happy that I won. To be in the top 5 or top 10, right, between the top 5 or top 10 riders, it's of course you have to do a lot of training and stuff. You have to be really mentally and physically prepared. But if you mean it like when you have to come from 20th place to 10th or 5, then it's something different. You have to be different than the other riders. especially if you want to be in the first place. Yeah, it's easy if you ride like all the other riders. You can't get to top 5 or top 3. You have to be like with a different mentality, knowing that you can do that, because it's a lot like that. For example, if you finish all the time in 10th or 15th place, and in the moto you're riding 15th place, then you know you're in the right place. You're not trying to push to top 5 and like that. But if you're a top 1 rider and you're in P20, for example, for me, I would do anything to get to the front as soon as possible, because winning for me feels like a routine and the right thing to do. Yeah, my goal, of course, is to win the European Championship first. And yeah, I think no matter the result of the championship, I will still step up to MX2, because yeah, I'm also getting mature and experienced enough for MX2, because also I was racing MX2 in Tochental this year, and I felt like I would belong there with of course with the really strong guys. It's something different than in EMX, because the intensity and the aggressiveness from the riders are like 100 times different than in EMX. Like, I think they would absolutely kill you for them to win. You know, it's like that. And for me, would also be like that, because yeah, as I mentioned before, winning is my thing. Yeah, it's really nice for the looks, to look really good on the bike, but mainly for me is how I feel on the bike. And I think for me in this year, I'm really lucky with the bike and with the gear. I feel really comfortable on the bike, and yeah, suspension and everything feels so comfortable, and I think that's the main reason why I can ride in the first places and win motos. I think that the Raven gear is really like comfortable. It's really flexible, comparing maybe to some of the gears I've ridden in the past. It feels like I'm wearing nothing on. Like yeah, I'm just feeling really comfortable on the bike, and I don't have to think about about how I feel. You know, I can just ride how like myself. So yeah, this is my bike, and for me, of course, the number one reason like in motocross is to feel comfortable on your bike, so you can do the best results. And for me, I would say the most important things to be like set up perfectly is my handlebar position, lever positions as well, also a comfortable seat, and of course the most importantly is the suspension, because I remember struggling with my suspension in the early off season, and when I fixed the problem, it felt a lot better, that I can race like 100%. When I tried to change the handlebar positions in the off season, it felt like the whole bike was changed. So for me, that is really important, and yeah, I feel good like it is now. There's not a lot of things I usually change between the trainings. Just you know, when it's the only thing you change on the bike, then you can feel it. You can feel it quite a lot. I recently changed the handlebar position, because yeah, from the side the coaches told me that like my arms were maybe a little bit too low, and we changed it more from, I think, from the position -1 to about 0, and yeah, I got kind of used to it, and for me it's already easier to like now perform better. I feel like I rule over the bike, not the bike who rules over me, you know. So I have kind of control over it. For me, I think the Technos track is in top 3, one of my like favorites. Maybe if it's perfectly prepared, it can be my favorite one. But since I started riding EMX, my favorite track have been Great Britain in 2023, where I also won the EMX 125 championship. And yeah, the track was just great, especially in the second moto, where the grip was perfect. The ruts were fast, and you know, the big jumps. Maybe it's not like it really suits me with the deep ruts, like 10 ruts in one corner. But I feel like I am comfortable and having a lot of fun there racing. The worst injury for me, like, I don't know if it's the worst. I think the worst for any sportsman is the head injuries. Not only because you can't ride for a long time, but also it affects your future. And I have already had like 3 head concussions so far. But the most painful and the worst one was when I tore my ACL in the training. And it was yeah, like a really big mental game, and because the period until you can ride is really long. For me it was like 8 months or something. So just waking up every day and just thinking I have to do the same thing as I did yesterday. And it's like that, exercise for 2 hours in a day, 2 or 3, and you know, on the crutches also. So a really stupid thing in all the sports, that injuries like set you out for a long time, especially like ACL and hand injuries like I had. As the first thing I would recommend to when you start riding, you have to focus on your technique first than the speed, because when you have a good technique on the bike, the speed will come for itself. And when you look at, for example, Jet Lawrence, you look at him and like, for me, it's like I wish I could have a style like him, like riding so smoothly everywhere. Rarely any mistakes, and winning almost all the time. Also after an ACL surgery, I think it's only for him been like 3 or 4 months, and already winning motos and rounds. It's super amazing, and yeah, he's a great example of what kids need to like look up to this day. Yeah, inspiration is one thing, but how much you can learn from that without a trainer. And for me, it was very important also as a kid to have a coach, because when you're riding, you can't really see what you're doing on the bike. I think that people who are looking from the side, especially when they know a lot about this sport, like my coaches do, I think they are doing like a really good job explaining what they see and what they think I could improve. And I think that's number one reason why I'm here today. I think it's the joy of winning and seeing everyone happy, because when I started winning motos, the feeling of that something finally pays off is something else, you know. And also, like, I don't think that any other sport can have this kind of joy, because when you put on the helmet and you get your leg over the bike, the feeling is just unexplainable, you know. It's you know you're gonna enjoy your life, you forget about all the other things, and you can do what you love.